have interpreted my dream.
Never give up. It's never over. If you have faith, it's possible. You gotta have faith in yourself. You gotta have faith in each other.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Bless this food we are about to receive for the nourishment of our body. In your name we pray. Amen. Let's eat, cats.
Look for a way in. Never give up. It's never over.
We have prayed for you. Now it is time to pray on you. Family that prays together, prays together.
Welcome to the Wildcat Football Insider. I'm Lynn Thompson along with Terry Sims as we celebrate a classic 29-25 win over Florida A&M in the Florida Blue Florida Classic, where the Wildcats scored 19 fourth quarter points to eke out a win in Orlando. Coach, folks had us counted out. We were down 24-10 in the fourth quarter, seemingly dead and counted out, but lo and behold, your ball club fought back.
They did, and you gave fam a point. It was 29-24.
Okay.
But the guys kept fighting, and you know, I told the folks in our post-game interview, our guys didn't waver. You know, they continued to fight, and we did not worry about being down because we've been there before. Yeah. And we actually had a true freshman, Jonathan Thomas. He was one of the lead dogs on the sideline telling everybody, stay up, we're gonna win this game. Just keep fighting.
And that's what they did, Coach. You know, Larry Brim, a remarkable game, 26 out of 36, 280 yards, no picks on the day. Senior leadership scores the game-winning touchdown. But let's talk about this football game in summary. Now, we'll break it down as the show goes on, but Coach, this was a football game that you knew was going to have some ebbs and some flows, and momentum was going to creep on both sides of the stadium. It was going to require tremendous fan support. You knew you were going to have to rely on the band at certain points, and Donovan Wells and the Pride certainly came through at the end for us. But this was going to be an epic battle, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, and we knew that before we entered the stadium. Yeah. You know, it's a rivalry game. It's always a tough game. And, you know, as I said last week, you can throw the records out the window because those guys were going to come to play. And they did. They came in and they had a great game plan. And, you know, they put it to work. And you know, they led for a large amount of that football game.
This was characteristic of FAMU's season, Coach. They were able to get leads on virtually every one of their opponents. But at the end, they seemingly could not close. And in our season, I guess because of the nature of the ball club that we have now, you were able to close the deal on most of your opponents.
We are, and you know, you're exactly right about FAM. They had a few games this year where they led until, you know, up into the fourth quarter. And they just could not finish. They just could not get a break. And our football team had that issue early on a few times, but our guys found a way to win. Yeah. They found a way to continue to play and continue to have faith in each other and make plays.
That was a good football team we saw in Florida A&M. You said it all week long. You said it, and you saw it. And but our team found a way to win. Let's talk about, before we'll go to the highlights, Coach, let's talk about the senior leadership of your football team.
Unmatched. I mean, it's leadership that you can't pay for. You know, when you look at guys on the offensive side of the ball, you know, you always start up front, and Philip Norman and Chris Adams and Joe Bussareth, those guys are you know, lights out up front. And, you know, Jaquan Loomis at tight end, and our receiving corps. You know, Jawil Davis, Frank Brown, those guys, they bring something to this football team that you can't teach. It's something that's just in those young men, the competitive edge in the backfield. You know, you got your quarterback, Larry Brim. You have JT, you know, he had a lot of good plays on Saturday. You know, and the last guy, you know, Mike Jones, he's the troop leader in there. You know, he's the guy that has all the experience. He's probably one of the headiest guys on offense. He probably could play quarterback if we put him there, because he understands offense just that much. And that's the way they lead this football team. They lead by example.
When we come back from this break, we'll take a look at the highlights from this truly classic football game. The Cats win it 29-24.
On the road, from the MEAC SWAC Challenge to the Celebration Bowl, everyone is competing from start to finish. A MEAC championship is not only on the line, but so is a trip to the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Each game will count, from the first to the last. With dominating offenses and powerful defenses, we leave it all on the field. And at the end of the road, only one team will be standing as the MEAC football champion. And we'll see you in Atlanta on December 16th.
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love.
I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Oh, we here with it. This is the last classic. I ain't never lose one. All right, guys, good luck.
Now scrambles to the left with lots of daylight. The 20, at the 25, and out of bounds with a first down around the 28. Runs left, now tosses to the middle, fires a bullet, caught by Kevon Mitchell, the 35. Mitchell breaks a tackle. He's still running. They're pushing near the 40-yard line.
It looks
still
like
going. The tunnel screen now throws it left seam, incomplete at the 20-yard line, then a late hit. Brim throws deep left side. It's caught on an out route just past the first down marker. Play action, throws flats, far side, caught at midfield. Mitchell turns outside of the 45, scoots out with a first down. Give it up the gut, no play action. Brim will throw, has an open man, caught at the 10-yard line, rumbles in, and it's a touchdown, BCU! Keeper right up the gut on a wild rattler formation, and Bowers doesn't get anything. Brown hands it off to his tailback, who tries the right side. No gain on the play. 5 at the 10, that's the 15 with a hole at the 20, 25 at the 30, has to make one man miss, and he's tackled tackled by the kicker at the 35. Fakes in the flats, now tosses to Jones, caught at the 35, sideline 40, 45, across the 50, and pushed deep into the BCU sideline. Looks, tosses in the flats, catches made, Ajuka at the 35. Jones spins off a tackler at the 30, and down at the 28. Down, the kick from Uriel, he sends it flying, and he sends it good. Now steps up, and then he goes down, hit from the right side. Throws right side at the 29-yard line, leaping grab is made, throws a skinny post, middle of the field, broken up at midfield by Elliott Miller. Steps up in the pocket, throws middle of the field, caught by Brown at the 40-yard line. Has a good pocket, fires a strike in the middle, caught at the 30-yard line. A good grab by Frank Bowden, gets right to the first down marker and sends a monster boot here. Look out, Tampa, lands at the 30, takes a Wildcat roll down the near hash, and it is down to the 20s. The short side Bowers will throw, flag is down, it is tipped around to the 30-yard line, and BCU picks it off. Short drop, tunnel screen near side, caught by Smith, who's obliterated immediately. Pocket steps up, throws near side, caught by Loomis at the 50. At the 45, jukes towards the numbers, and he'll be wrapped up at the 44. Keeper by Brim out to the near side, looks for the edge. He's got a first down out to the 40. Edge, he steps up, gets out of a sack, tosses on the run. A stick route grabbed by Frank Brown to the 25-yard line. Rigby throws far side for Davis, the first down marker. Has it, breaks a tackle, far side, tighter off the sideline at the 5, leans, and he's out of bounds at the 2. Roll out this way for Larry Brim. Brim running, plants his feet, now rolls to the wide side, has some blocks. Brim's gonna run. Brim at the 7, cuts up at the 5, leads for the end zone. Touchdown! Maroon and goal!
Great job by Larry Brim going back, cutting back across the field.
It's a fake punt here. Fadua will run, and he's tackled at the 30. Only had to beat one man, but Cameron Rigby says no thanks. Keeps right side, tosses in the flats. It's complete. Frank Brown at the 30, gets to the 25, hurdles for a first down. Snap to Brim. Gives it. Jones takes the defender head on. Leads for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Bethune-Cookman. Gives it right up the middle, tripped up, and he gets through one tackle, and then he's swallowed up by the Wildcats. Trenton Bridges, Todney Evans, and Marquise Hendricks. A lot of room near side. He's at the 25, at the 30, runs over defender, down to the 36. Move those chains, and he will blitz. They'll throw. Davis has it on the catch of the 47, gets past midfield, stretches the football out. They bring the house. He steps up, throws right side, jumping catch made to the 19-yard line. Pulled down by John Thomas. First and goal. Trouble pitch near side. Gets to the 10. Gets to the 5. Looks for the pylon. They'll call him down at the 1. Brim with a snap. Play fakes. Rolls near side. Nobody's there. Larry Brim will score. Touchdown. Maroon and goal. Takes the goal line. The 5, the 10, the 15, at the 20. And he's tackled by a shoe shy of the 25. Steps up in the pocket, hit as he throws, gets it off, deep pass down the middle, into triple coverage, and is it picked off by BCU? Yes, it is! The Wildcats intercept Stanley, and will seal this ball game!
And guess who it is? Deuce Deuce!
Daquan Richardson in the front of the end zone will win the Florida Blue Florida Classic for Bethune-Cookman.
I told y'all, I never lost a classic. 7-Pete. Told y'all I was going out like a big dog. Y'all thought I was lying? Look at it. It's pretty, ain't it?
On the road, from the MEAC Challenge to the Celebration Bowl, everyone is competing from start to finish. A MEAC championship is not only on the line, but so is a trip to the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Each game will count, from the first to the last. With dominating offenses and powerful defenses, we leave it all on the field. And at the end of the road, only one team will be standing as the MEAC football champion. And we'll see you in Atlanta on December 16th.
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love. I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Football Insider. Lynn Thompson along with Terry Sims here as we talk about the Florida Blue Florida Classic. The Wildcats win it 29-24 over Florida A&M. You saw the highlights in the previous segment, but now let's break down the football game. Coach, stat-wise, the Cats had 25 first downs, FAMU 20. The yardage overall was virtually even, Coach, on the day, 365 to 360 yards. Larry Brim, a phenomenal game throwing the football, 26 of 36 for 280 yards. He was on point. He was able to make his reads right. Was laser sharp, 2 touchdowns running the football, the game clinching touchdown with a little over a minute to go, and he orchestrated 3 touchdown drives in crucial game-winning moments, something that you would expect from a senior leader who has done that before. Let's talk about the opening kickoff. Coach, you take the ball. We take 7.5 minutes off the ball, off the clock with the opening drive, and come up without any points.
We do, and you know that's unacceptable. You know, when you take that much time off the clock, when you drive the football that far down the field, you have to come up with something. And you know, our offense understands that, and our kicking game. You know, our special teams guys, they were ready to go in and kick a field goal. We were at a position on the field where it was going to be hard to kick a field goal. And you're in 4-down territory. Yeah. And when you get in a position like that, you know, you have to come up with the drive and make points, you know, when you get a chance. But I think the guys were just a little overzealous and, you know, nervous energy was flowing a little bit. And we just had to settle them down and get them ready to play.
Crucial 3rd down play, you isolate Jewel Davis over in the flat. He makes a move and slips down, one-on-one coverage over there.
Yeah, and you know, Jewel has made that play 10 or 15 times this year. And you know, that's usually the play that he does. We'll put him one-on-one with the corner. He'll make the guy miss and take it to the house. Yeah. You know, he lost his footing and it was just one of those days. You know, everybody was out trying to press and trying just a little bit too hard, you know, when the game first started. But we settled them down.
You get the ball a little later on in the first quarter, and you hit Jaquan Loomis, the big tight end from Orlando Jones High, and it was proper and fitting. He plays his high school career in that same stadium, and the last game of his college career, he gets a big touchdown pass.
He did, and I was really happy to watch Loomis do that and to be able to be a part of that because, you know, he's a young man who, again, he walked onto this football team as a receiver. We needed a tight end. He gained weight. He did the necessary things he needed to do in the weight room to get his body right. And he's been nothing but a pleasant surprise these last 3 years in this program.
Coach, we go up, you know, in thinking we got control, 10-3, and FAMU comes back, ties it up at the half. One of the surprising things, did you think that FAMU was going to try to run the football like they did? They ended up running for over 100 yards, 133 yards rushing on the day. I thought that they would spread us and try to pass the football, but they really wanted to establish the run.
They did. They wanted to try and spread us out, you know, to get our backers out of the box because they knew, you know, that we had linebackers and you know, obviously with the 2 guys we had in the middle, they wanted to get them out of the box. Mm-hmm. So they could, you know, get some offensive linemen up on our linebackers and make some running lanes. But when you look at guys like Hendricks, you know, he ran plays down, and I think he kind of discouraged them a little bit from trying to spread us out and run the ball. And, you know, they hit a couple, you know, nice passes on us because we had some guys out of place a couple times in coverage.
Yeah, they did, and they wanted to go a lot of crossing routes across the middle. They hit some of those, but one of the things that I got to tip our hat to the coach special teams came up big once again, and you said it time and time again that the Ashawn Larkin's impact and his blueprint for our special teams was going to, as the seasons progressed, was going to come up huge. And as this season has unfolded, that's been true.
It is, and you know, again, I say it day in and day out. Being a special teams guy myself, I see the importance of the time And that's why I give Coach Larkins as much time as I can to work with special teams, because it's important. And you can see from the game on Saturday, it changed the complexion of that football game with all of our special teams units. And, you know, Coach Larkins and the coaches that assist him, they're doing a great job preparing these guys. And the players are doing a great job locking in and doing the things that they're coached to do.
Last minute of this segment, Coach. Special teams thought it was going to bite us one time. Uriel Hernandez, as dependable as he is, gets an extra point blocked late in the game, maybe 8 minutes to go. We're down by 1, 24-23 when they block his extra point. Did you feel that that was going to hurt us in the end or what?
No, I didn't. You know, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to hurt us because I know the type of football team that we have. Okay. And you know, we had to insert a guy who really hadn't played much on the front line, and that's where the block came. Okay. You know, he just didn't pay attention to his gap.
And then one of the more memorable plays that you're going to ever see comes from one of the more dependable guys that we're going to ever have. Cameron Rigby makes a seemingly insignificant play that will go down in the archives of Bethune-Cookman football history when he splits 2 offensive linemen and stops a fake punt.
Yeah, and anybody that knows Cameron Rigby on the football field, that's who he is. He's a dependable guy. He's a guy you can count on. And really, I'll say it now, the game's over with. Stephon Francois was supposed to make that play. But Rigby's just heady enough where he saw what was going on, and he split the 2 guys, and he ended up making the play.
There it is, a big play from a small guy. We'll come back in just a few moments.
On the road, from the MEAC SWAC Challenge to the Celebration Bowl, everyone is competing from start to finish. A MEAC championship is not only on the line, but so is a trip to the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Each game will count, from the first to the last. With dominating offenses and powerful defenses, we leave it all on the field. And at the end of the road, only one team will be standing as the MEAC football champion. And we'll see you in Atlanta on December 16th.
The DNA of Bethune-Cookman comes from the heart of a great woman whose legacy lives on today in each and every Wildcat.
I leave you love. I leave you hope.
I leave you a thirst for education.
I leave you faith.
I leave you, finally, a responsibility to our young people.
Great leaders always leave something for others to follow.
What will you leave us?
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, success for our student athletes isn't just measured by wins and losses, points on the scoreboard, or individual stats. It's also measured by their performance in the classroom, in the community, and ultimately graduation. Our student athletes aren't just playing to win a single game, they're playing to win at life. Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Football Insider. This is the last segment of this season. The Cats win the Florida Classic 29-24 in grand style. Truly a classic experience. And Coach, I guess this is the thank you segment, you know, and I want to start it off. I want to thank so many people who have made this year a great season. The Cats finished up 7-4 overall. Coach, the ball bounces 2 different ways. We're in the Celebration Bowl. But nonetheless, a superior season, nonetheless, and I'm so proud of this program and what we've accomplished. I want to mention a couple of names of people who are always reluctant to be in the limelight. She's sitting right over there, y'all. She won't come on camera. Her name is Jasmine Austin. She designs the uniforms, all the graphics and everything else. She's just so stubborn she wouldn't come on camera, y'all. Isn't that right, Terry?
You're correct.
And she works for Brian Harvey, who is our Associate AD for Athletic Communications. You'll see a lot of him, his creative energy, along with the folks at Cat Eye Network, Darren McCaskill, and all of those folks at King's Eye Media, Chris Hoke and his lovely wife and his team. They're behind the cameras right now. So I'm calling their names, but you can't see them because their eyes are inside the camera. Who else?
Well, I mean, you got to thank the folks that are watching. You got to thank the fans because that's the energy that drives our football team and our band.
Yeah, because the fans, you know, I had some fans after the game say, we had you guys, but that dang band fired everybody up. That's right. that dang band did, and they're going to keep doing it. So much obliged to the heavyweight champions of all college marching bands, the pride of BCU, Donovan Wells, and his undefeated heavyweight champions, the pride. We love you guys.
And I have to, thank another group, and these folks, the coaches get a lot of notoriety, whether we win or lose, but our equipment staff, those guys do a great job. We have 3 guys that drive a truck and a trailer all the way to DC, guys going to North Carolina. So just to the whole equipment staff, Mike Humphrey and all those guys, we appreciate you. Thank you for your effort and your support.
Yeah. So many people, the administrative team here on campus, our compliance staff, our academic staff, we'd like to thank all of you. And the final group of people I want to thank is this, the folks who probably make the greatest sacrifice. That's the families of these coaches. And let me tell you why I say that. Coaching is a full-time ministry. Many of these coaches sacrifice time with their own families to coach your sons, to step into the gap and to stand up and to teach them the game of life through football. And many times they can't even watch their own kids compete because they're busy recruiting and teaching other people's young folks. And so for their families who have to read media accounts and social media accounts, criticizing the game plans and the decisions and the judgment that they make even on victories, I just want to say from all of us, thank you for the sacrifice that the families make of these coaches. You stand by your husbands and your sons, and for that we are so grateful. But we are so grateful for the Wildcat Nation, for all of the alumni, fans and students of Bethune-Cookman, and those of you who just like us. We thank you for your support. We continue to enlist you to support us and our student athletes. This senior class who has stood by us, and we just pray nothing but best wishes and prosperity on you for the rest of your career. Coach, I'll let you have the last word.
I have 2 more groups that I need to thank. I need to thank Scott Armstrong and the trainers because they keep our guys on the field. A lot of people talk about our strength program, and Coach Fingers, our staff, does a great job, but without the training room, those guys wouldn't be healthy and be on the field. And the guys that keep us out and keep us being noticed outside of just the communications, our marketing department. Jamie Hart and his staff, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that's about does it for this season. The Cats finished number 2 in the MEAC. Best of luck to the North Carolina A&T Aggies in the Celebration Bowl. And Coach Sims and his staff hit the road recruiting, not to rebuild, but to reload. For Terry Sims and the Wildcats, we'll see you next year.